Alright guys, welcome back to another comic review, another comic sent by my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Once again, Chris, thank you so much for these comics. They greatly help with the channel. And I've kind of burned through several of them pretty quick. So let's get into Juggernaut, No Stopping Now. So, Juggernaut, for those who don't know, I really like the Juggernaunt. Like, I always get excited to see him in a comic. Like, he's one of those characters I always am like, hey, Juggernaut's here! Now it's a party! So, I'm always happy to see, like, Juggernaut show up in a comic, whether as a main character or, like, a supporting character or, like, on a team. I actually like when he was on the Thunderbolts for the Jeff Parker run. I really did enjoy that with him teaming up with Luke Cage and Man-Thing. Yeah, it was literally a Thunderbolts team with, like, Luke Cage leading Ghost, Juggernaut, Man-Thing, Crossbones. A lot of people don't give Jeff Parker enough credit, and it really irks me. Anyway. But let's talk about this comic, No Stopping Now. So, No Stopping Now... Juggernaut No Stopping Now is basically Kane Marco trying to redeem himself, because once again he has lost the power of Sidorak, but now he's regained it. He's regained the gem of Sidorak after Ileana destroyed it, and basically he tells Sidorak, go fuck yourself, I don't work for you anymore. I'm going to use this power that you gave me, and I am going to do shit myself. I'm going to make my own decisions. So, yeah, those decisions include working closely with Krakoa, even though he's not welcome there because he's not a mutant. And basically, he also helps damage control with Demolition. And then he meets a young mutant named D-Cell, who refuses to call herself a mutant. And basically, with her, he gets thrown into this mismatch of a story. It's very disjointed. That's like right out the gate. This story for 5 issues, while it is pretty compact, it's also really disjointed. Like the first issue is like Kane Marco is working with, he's basically working with both the mutants, and he's working with damage control to redeem himself. And then he meets D-Cell, whose power is that she can decelerate things, which the Juggernaut is all about acceleration. So she's kind of like a neat little sidekick, and I really do like D-Cell. She's a fun character. I don't know if they've used her, because this comic came out in 2020, so I don't know if, like, for the past 2 years, if they brought up D-Cell again. She's really fun. She's like a vlogger who's been, like, homeless for a while. There's also, but yeah. So we jump from him meeting D-Cell to him fighting the Immortal Hulk, getting his ass trounced. Like, that's the thing, too, is, like, Hulk, like, Hulk's never really beaten Juggernaut in a fight. A lot of people forget that, like, there are few, like, when Hulk and Juggernaut fight, Hulk usually does not win. There's a lot of instances where he's not beaten. I mean, yeah, there's times where he has beat the Juggernaut, but, like, Hulk usually does not win those fights. Yeah. But yeah, it's more about, like, the whole, like, overarching story is about, Kane Marco wanting to make his own decisions and to be a better person. And I like that. I really do like that. Like I said, it is disjointed because we start off with, like, him meeting D-Cell, then the next issue she convinces him to fight the Hulk, and then the next issue is him, like, protecting her from a villain named Quicksand, while he's standing on trial for damages in the past. It's actually funny, the damages they're putting on trial for is literally the No Stopping the Juggernaut Spider-Man storyline from I believe Roger Stern. Yeah, it was a Roger. I think it was a Roger Stern story. It was that story where Spider-Man fought the Juggernaut to keep him away from Madam Web. So I'm like, wow, okay, we're doing a deep cut, cool. And there's also, speaking of deep cuts, there's mentions of the Crossroads from Peter David's Hulk run. There's a lot in here. Like, we get Black Tom. There's some really cool stuff in here. I also really do like that this comic, Kane Marco is trying his best to be what he can be, and that's trying to be... he knows he could easily... Like, this comic basically is him going, I could easily just fall back into all of this, and I'm aware of that. Like, I could fall back to being a villain, and I couldn't, I wouldn't be able to help myself. And I'm glad they acknowledge that. It's an interesting comic because we go from that to him meeting Armin Zola to discovering this this Supermax prison for supervillains that is a prison for profit. These are real things, people. These are actually real things, but it's for this one's for superhumans. For prison profit prisons are basically prisons that are run by big businesses and big corporations, and they really treat their inmates really badly and do really horrendous shit to them. Now imagine superhumans doing that. I do feel like they kind of like Fabian Nicieza, who wrote this comic, wrote this and was like, oh shit, I forgot that was the main crux of the story. Let me just forget that real quick. There's some fun action in here. There's some really good stuff in here. And like I said, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy anything with the Juggernaut. Like, I haven't seen anything bad involving Juggernaut. Whether he's a hero, whether he's a villain, I just am happy to see him. Like, hey, Marco, what's up? Hey, Kane Marco, what's up, buddy? You gonna smash shit? Oh, you are? Good. Like, that's the mindset. And they do kind of leave it off that, like, Marco wants to build, like, a new team to, like, help people. And basically, like, it clear, like, Fabian Nicieza wants to make, like, a Thunderbolts team, but I guess, like, since they were making a Thunderbolts team in the future, I guess he couldn't, like, he wasn't allowed to, so I don't know if they picked this up, but I do know currently, Juggernaut is part of an X-Men team now. So, yeah, all in all, it's a fun book. It's definitely like something you would get like a discount. Like, this is definitely like a bargain bin comic, and that's not bad. I'm not saying like bargain bin comics are bad. Sometimes you do find gold in them dar hills, and this is one of those. Like, I would say if you could get this for like at like a bargain bin, like $5 a comic or something like that, or like you could find this like cheap. Because it is, even though it is cheap, it is $16. It is definitely like under $20, so it's definitely in your budget. And you just love, and you would want to read like a fun Juggernaut story. Here you go. I highly recommend this. So, Chris, thank you, bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for this and all the other books. Yeah. So you guys just comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of this. Other than that, if you haven't already, hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon for exclusive content. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.